Hey Maria, it's Heather. I thought I'd take a minute to respond to your discussion board because I really think you did a good job, and I think it definitely stands out. Kind of really what you start talking about. The first fact is one of three leading causes of death among people 15 to 44. Second, for 10 to 44 year age group. I cited in my discussion board the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It talks that the most current it had from 2019. I'd like to see 2021, especially given the pandemic. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S. And in 2019, there were an estimated 1.38 million suicide attempts. Ultimately, in 2019 as well, 47,511 Americans passed away of suicide. This is a topic that needs to be talked about more and more and more and more. I work at a private practice here in Dallas, and so I specialize in any kind of self-harm or suicidal thoughts, or of course the apathetic part of depression, but just suicidal thoughts and self-harm, all the way from, I've seen young kids with it to, of course, our older generation. I think it is one of the hardest subjects to talk about, and you're right, like, we need more education on it, and especially people who are understand the depths of it and can assess it as well. I really like that you start talking about low income countries, because in reading so many chapters of the textbook, right, they're talking about low income countries are not going to have as many resources, as other people. And so you're talking about women who didn't mean to get pregnant, women who are going to be, too ashamed to tell their family. And like you talked about, where they are trying to do abortion and possibly on their own, and they can hurt themselves as well. I think the more education we have on this topic, the better, of just resources. The suicide hotline is open 24/7, right? So just resources that we can refer to no matter where we're at in the world, and just being able to talk to people ultimately when they're in crisis as well. On page 360, kind of in our book, it talks more, about more and more causes per se, like reasons. And so under biological, it talks about the onset of postpartum psychoses, of family history, molecular genetic studies. You've got circumstances, right? That's a huge factor. Not only the biological, genetic, what's going on with your body and all your hormones before and after you have a baby, but it talks about family circumstances. Like you talked about, in low income, you've got the income, struggles as well. You've also got circumstances of the childbirth, right? So if there was a stress or a complication with it as well. There's so many dynamics that go into this. And so the more educated we are, the better. I thought you did a great job. I love how you just close with more conversations of proactive and preventative measures need to take place. I completely agree, and I'm glad that we're talking about this subject as a group this week, because I'm interested to see what everybody talks about. Even living in Dallas, right, one of the biggest populated areas, there's still more resources that need to be had. I would love to see the statistics from 2020 to now, and I know they've been done, and I've seen some, but like the amount of suicidal thoughts and stuff that has happened in general more throughout the pandemic, but let alone ones with the, pre or postpartum. I hope you're having a good week. I will see you on Thursday. Thanks.